Welcome, everybody, to the OneDoor Studios update. It is almost Christmas, a couple days before Christmas, maybe 6 days before Christmas. I don't even know what date it is. Maybe the 16th, 17th. But we
17.
have 17th, thank you. But we have some great updates for our calculated investors. So the last time we gave you an update, it was either that Belle Avery, the producer of the Meg, had signed with us, or that she already delivered her draft of the script. We actually don't remember. I, I asked Jay, he couldn't remember, and we figured if we couldn't remember, then maybe you
Right.
didn't either. So
Yeah.
we thought we'd tell you again if you didn't remember. But anyway, so Belle Avery, she and her team delivered the first draft of the new calculated script about 6 weeks ago. Is that correct?
It was October. Yeah.
It was October.
Yeah.
Okay. So late October?
I'm going with late October.
Okay, late October. Okay, but since then, what we did was all of us on the team, John, Jay, myself, Dan, Paul, we compiled our notes. And it took quite some time to get the notes together. And we delivered them back to Belle and her team. Now, these notes for Belle are really suggestions because we've allowed Belle, because of her great stature with being able to pull off amazing things with films, gave her a lot of creative leeway. So these suggestions we gave her were simply that, suggestions. And there was a lot of them. But Paul, do you want to talk a little bit about your conversations with Belle?
Yeah. And first, let us start by saying we were totally excited.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Belle and her team managed to make some critical structural changes. As we all know, when you're building something, the structure is the most important thing. Building a house, building a script, building a plan. So she fixed some really cool, rearranged some things. Um, there was some departure from the book. Spoiler alert for those who are totally committed to Calculated the book series. We're still going to deliver on the overall experience of the book, but as is the case when things are adapted, there's some shifts here and there. I like to say that if even with true stories, when you're basing a movie on a true story of somebody's life, there's some creative liberties when you move into the movie land. So, but we were super excited. And being all creatives ourselves and having lots of years in the movie world, we all had ideas. So we compiled those ideas. We gave them back to Belle. And I spoke with Belle last week. So she said her team is working on it, and she's hoping to have us the latest draft, which is hopefully the final draft for now until we get a director who may have other ideas to update a draft by the end of the year or by early in January, which means we're going to be off to the races. God willing, we're going to be off to the races, going out to studios by probably late January, maybe February. So we're totally pumped about that. I had a great conversation with Nova, the author, as well. And I basically said, Nova, if we get this script where we believe Belle is taking it, this is going to be such a great movie. Like, it's going to be exactly what people are asking for.
Yeah.
We know that the superhero movies are starting to die because it's the same old formula. And here we've got this fresh superhero who's human, not extraterrestrial, unbelievable, implausible. This is a real human being with plausible gifts and an amazing story. So anyway, we're pumped. Belle is cranking away, and yeah, it's a good Christmas present.
So I wanted to ask John and Jay, of course, without spoilers and stuff, what did you guys think of this particular draft of the script? Just, 30,000 foot view. Jay, you go first.
Okay. Yeah. Well, just like Paul said, I was over the moon, as John likes to say. I was completely encouraged by the fact that we have things that we we're suggesting to put into the script to give to Bell or whatever, it actually is not. It's not saying anything negative about the script at all. If anything, I just wish that we had a whole series, because I love the book so much that we could just put everything back in it, but you can't. When you got to reduce a 15-hour long audiobook into, an hour and a half to 2 hours, it's, you know, like Paul was saying, in the movie business, you've got to know what to keep and what to get rid of in order to condense something into the best version you possibly can. And I think Bell is doing the best job possible of making that happen.
Yeah. I was pretty excited reading it, and I won't say my opinions right now, but John, I wanted to hear what you thought.
Oh, I see. So you did slot me in.
I
Uh,
did. Of course I did.
so, um, yeah, just two things. One is we need a solid, fresh voice that is singular, that is not that is not a crowd sounding voice, and that's what Bell brings, is that kind of clarity, so that when studios read it, it appears to be completely homogeneous, completely composed into one masterful arrangement. A thought that threads all the way through from the beginning to end for each character, for the theme, for everything. So Paul had the enviable position of taking all of our voices and putting the draft together for Bell, which he did a
Oh my
terrific.
gosh. I didn't envy Paul in that process.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
And it took him a minute. It took him, I don't know, a week and a half or so. And it takes some real combing through, looking at everybody's notes and
I
going
think he's
back.
going to rebut that week and a half.
By the way, I wanted to add something for all you people out there following AI. So my first approach was to take all of this mountain of stuff and ideas and throw it into ChatGPT and see if ChatGPT could summarize it.
He couldn't.
ChatGPT came back with a complete disaster. I was like, forget that. It's on me. I got to figure it out using old school human techniques. And so it did take longer than anticipated, but it was the right thing to do. And, not everything made it, but there were a number of things where we were in unison. We were all saying the same thing. And those were the points where it was really important to get that message across to Bell. And then other areas where clearly you guys were all wrong and I was right. And, that was important to get across to.
Yeah. Yeah, you remind me of when you talk about all the modern techniques and the technology. You remind me of the Pink Panther when he says, "We will find this suspect using all the modern technology such as two-way radio and email." Sorry, that's who's that? I forget which actor that is. That's
Peter,
no, it
Peter
was
Sellers?
no,
No.
it was more recent Pink Panther. Anyway, I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh,
Please
Steve
digress.
Martin.
Steve
Yeah, Steve
Martin.
Martin,
Yeah,
I couldn't
thank you.
remember.
That was great. Anyway, sorry for that digression. But
so
anyway, yeah.
we do have reason to have high expectation for this draft coming from Bell, because we have her first draft, which she gave to us. And it was, as Paul mentioned, it really knocked us back. It was just so
Yeah.
good in so many ways. So
Yeah.
the notes we gave her were an homage to her brilliant draft in the first place, and just some notes, thoughts that we had that we'd like her to consider. Most of it dealing with pumping up the dramatic tension and just making it a little more cliffhangery, a little more um, ticking clock, all of those kinds of devices that go in. Um, and I believe, though I wasn't in on the call, Paul's report was that most of the notes we gave her were things that her and her team had already identified and were planning on doing. They just were waiting on our notes to go in and whoop them all together. So we have really high expectations for this draft that's coming from her, and enough that we're thinking of, as Paul said, approaching studios as early as the end of January. So this is exceptionally good news.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need this movie. We need this series of movies so badly. Every weekend, we're all waiting for something great to see at the theaters. And most weekends, we're disappointed
Yeah.
that there's nothing
Yeah.
new.
We've got
Um,
three horror movies though, Christmas horror
oh my
movies.
gosh. Yeah. Aplenty. Horror movies
Yeah.
aplenty.
And if, hey, did anybody see the McDonald's commercial made with AI?
Oh gosh.
Yes, the future of AI is looking bright.
Oh no.
Oh
Was it-
no.
Was it
It was
dreadful?
it was dreadful, and it was so bad McDonald's took it down. It was such a terrible backlash from making 100% AI. So, we talk about AI being a part of the future of, and I'm a filmmaker too. I do documentaries, and I use AI in my films, but not in the way that people think about it. So
That's ready for doing the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
not gonna do the whole. That's just lazy, just totally lazy. So anyway, that's the Christmas update. So I hope you guys are jazzed with us that the script is coming together. We're about to receive that draft, and we will let you know. We'll send out an email as soon as we get that draft from Bell. So it won't be a video; it'll be an email saying, "Hey, we got the draft from Bell," and we'll see you guys at the turn of the new year when things just keep progressing forward. So thanks for joining us on this update, everybody. Have an awesome Christmas and New Year. Ciao.